too early to say, guys. It's too early to say whether this is an itch scratcher. But it's beginning to... I'm kind of thinking this could be an itch scratcher. It's Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. It's not out yet. There's a demo coming, but I was kindly given access to the prologue by the developer. This isn't a review. This is just my impressions of what I played today in this game. It's an open world RPG. And it does... Well, at the moment, it's looking like it's going to scratch an Oblivion itch, a Skyrim itch, and dare I say, even a Severance Blade of Darkness itch. We just need more dismemberment for that. But I'll get to... First of all, the story. It's set in Avalon, and not the Brian Ferry song. That's a different Avalon. It's set in Avalon, Arthurian. The Arthurian, you know, King Arthur and all that stuff. What it says here is King Arthur is long dead and the myths and legends are falling. Humans living in Avalon are desperately trying to find new ways of life and things to believe in. The plague of Red Death and the spreading of weirdness are not helping. Yeah, the spreading of weirdness isn't helping in our world as well. Probably a different type of weirdness, but ours is probably worse, to be fair. Time is running out and multiple factions have their own plan for the future of the island. So you've got different factions going on here. It's all open world. You can go where the hell you want, except in the beginning you kind of start in a prison cell. That's where the Severance Blade of Darkness thing got me, because that's where you start off in that. What I would have liked to have seen at the beginning is a lot darker, and maybe I would have liked to just copy Severance Blade of Darkness pretty much with the flame. It was the first game I ever saw real fire. It was like, oh, fire, whoa. It was just crazy. And there's a few games started like this. You've got to go around and you're let out of jail kind of thing. You've got to scavenge around. You can loot everything pretty much. You can just fill your pockets with vases, crockery, anything you like. It's like Skyrim-esque in that sense. Just pick up anything you want. Get yourself armed with anything that you can. And then you'll come across some people who think you should be back in your freaking jail. So there's a fight. Now, the combat in this is very oblivion. I'm trying to say oblivion-y. Even though that isn't a word, that's why my mouth's going, what the f***, man? That's not a fucking word, you prick. Use real words or I'm not helping you. Well, no, I'm in charge of your mouth face, so I'm going to say oblivion-y. Oblivion-y. Oh, f*** off. I'm not going to oblivion-y. I'm not moving on till I can say oblivion-y. It's very oblivion-y. Fucking hell, guys. Oblivion-y. I give up. It's very Skyrim-y. It's very Skyrim-y. That's easier. Yes, it reminded me of that in the combat, although it's a bit... it's not great, the combat at the minute. It's too slow. It feels slow. Now, the way the combat works in this, there's a sword and a shield. I just used the sword. So you can do a bit of parrying. If you block at the last second, you can stagger them because they lose their energy, and then you can spam them a bit. There's heavy and light attacks at the minute, but it's very early doors, this game, so you know that could all change. There's also a magic that you can use. You do have access to magic, and there's like a tree of perks that you can get, skill points, I guess. I don't know how far that's going to go yet, because again, we didn't have access to all of it. But there's a slow you down spell where you can cast that on a group, so if there's a lot of people attacking you, can slow them right down, then spam their faces. Yeah, the combat is what it is. I mean, you know, Oblivion and Skyrim combat wasn't the best, but, you know, that wasn't what the game was all about. That was the interactions with everybody. There's a lot of interactions in this game, a lot of multiple choice things. Now, it does say that the decisions will actually mean something in the actual game. They'll have consequences. Basically, what you say will, and that's how an RPG should be. I didn't feel like any of that was a thing in the prologue that I played. It just kind of felt like I was going down a list of just, yeah, this, I'll ask you that, then that, and you just kind of ask everything available just one at a time, and it didn't seem to do anything. But again, it's an early prologue, this. We'll see how it actually happens when the game is released. The graphics aren't going to win any prizes. It does what it does. It's quite atmospheric. In fact, it's very atmospheric, simply because of the setting. The sound's not too bad, and you just don't know what's going to be around the corner, and it is intriguing when you're going around. It's one of them games that you really want to explore, despite the graphics not being the best. It's because you know it's going to be open world. You know there's myths going on here, there's monsters, there's other factions. There's probably animals roaming around. You've got a bow and arrow, you've got your sword, your shield, or you've got your two-handed sword, whatever takes your fancy. You're all equipped. There's a currency in the game. There's money to loot. There's cooking as well, so you can put different ingredients into a pot, which will give you different kind of types of food. I'm guessing with different levels of potency. You put them on a hot bar, the instant kind of cast things that'll give you instant kind of health. So there's a lot of good ingredients in the cake here, guys, that could spell for a really cool, immersive, open-world RPG, which I would love because, let's be honest, we're not going to get a sequel to Skyrim anytime soon. I mean, where the hell is the next Elder Scrolls? It's just kind of got lost somewhere. We don't know where that is, when it's coming or anything. We've got Starfield coming up next, so we're not going to hold our breath. So there's a big gap now for something like this. Certainly the fans of Morrowind, Oblivion and Skyrim, we've been looking for something like this for a long time, and this might scratch that itch, guys. It's far too early to say whether it's going to be good or bad, which is why I'm not even going to bother. That would just be stupid. It is what it is. It's a very early access kind of prologue of the game, but when you go to Steam and you look this up and you see what's coming and you read what's coming, it sounds excellent. Now, if the developer can deliver on what's on Steam, this is going to be definitely a game to keep an eye on. Have a look for yourself. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Oh, before I go, I need to mention this, or someone will mention it in the comments. I did do a video on, it was a review actually, of Tainted Grail. I think it was Conquest, or it might have turned into Conquest. That might have been something else when I did it, which was a deck building turn-based game. Now, that was set in Avalon as well. But because it's made by the same developers, but it's nothing to do with this game in that sense of how you play. That was, I think, even a turn-based game, if I remember rightly. But it was a deck-building game all the same. So yeah, in fact, I can't remember if it was turn-based or not. It was a while ago, but I know it was a card game. So there you go, guys. It could be itch-scratchingly good. This we'll have to wait and see.